This is a really important event, I think. And what it illustrates clearly is there's a debate over the meaning of what's tolerant and what's intolerant. The claim by people like Mark Mitchell, for example, or David Seymour, is that what Brian Tamaki is doing in running these rallies is intolerant. But Brian is trying to stick up for traditional Kiwi identity, religion, culture, people, demographics, etc. And if it's intolerant to do that, you have to really wonder what's happening here. I think it's intolerant to say that you can't do that. If you can't stand up for Kiwi identity in New Zealand, then what can you stand up for? Apparently, you can only stand up for multiculturalism, for, atomized individuals who have no sense of identity. You have to be for multiculturalism. I think that that is a big problem. It's the imposition of a globalist ideology onto New Zealanders that has made it, they've redefined it as intolerant and evil to stand up for your own people, culture, and traditions. And that's the wrong way around. It ought to be the other way around.
I think it's fascinating that Brian Tamaki is one of the few, perhaps the only public figure with that following that reach the power to force issues into the mainstream where people talk about it for days. So I'm not saying he's the only one talking about this, just the only one who's able to force this into the discussion, into the narrative, and able to break through, and the media covers it and people talk about it. At that level, he's the only one who's really pushing for, as you say, the old New Zealand, the traditional Kiwi way of life and values and religion. And they, as you say, they call him a bigot or intolerant. But when you look at what he's arguing for, that is what New Zealand was built on, what New Zealand was founded on, the values of the Anzacs, the values of the people that built this country, the values of the founding stock. They would all have agreed with Brian Tamaki on, at a high level on all of these issues, even if people might disagree with some of his details. And I think it's fascinating to see him continue to push that. He's not shying away from these issues that are being called hate speech and being called intolerant. And it's good to see that movement